went into his helmet and went around and came out the other side. He got lucky with that. He almost died. He still has not. He doesn't have full function of his right arm. He never will. They've done 5 corrective surgeries on it, and he just can't get it. He got to keep it, but he just can't use it. I found out about this while I was on mid-tour deployment at home. You know, I was out partying with all my friends and having a good time, and I get a call from one of my friends, WYSH, and they tell me what happened. And the first thing I thought was, I'm gonna go back home. I didn't want to stay home anymore because I felt like that was my friend, and I wasn't there to protect him. I wasn't there to save him, and I didn't know if he was alive or not. You know, they couldn't tell me that. And all he said was he was in Germany and he was in the hospital, and they were working on saving him. And so you get calls like that, or you go through things like that, and you just feel guilty. And living with that guilt is exhausting. It's so exhausting to feel that and just to think about it every night and to dream about everything you saw every night. I mean, it's like you can't catch your breath. You're constantly breathing, but you can't catch your breath. It's impossible, you know, and it's so difficult to put up with all this and the exhaustion, and you know, and that's why these people make these choices. It's because they're done. Because in Iraq, you have an enemy. He points a gun at you, you shoot him. And when you come home, this enemy is not something that you can just shoot and it goes away. You know, PTSD is not something that it's a battle that you're never going to win. The thing is, you just have to learn how to cope with it. You have to learn how to make it turn it from a curse into a blessing. For example, I'm extremely paranoid, and I have moments where I'll go to a concert and I'll be okay for a minute, and then all of a sudden, all these people are around me and I start freaking out. I start sweating, my body's getting hot, and that's part of the curse. But the blessing is no one will ever be able to surprise me. I lay down at night and I think about, all right, if this guy breaks in, comes in through here, how am I going to react? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And you're on the alert all the time. And in a way, you got to think about it as a good thing, because you know that people in your house, the people you're with, they're safe, because that's all you think about is protecting them and making sure that no one can catch you off guard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and leave it open for questions. I'll give answers. Anything you want to ask, I'll answer. The only thing I don't talk about is I don't talk about my personal experiences in detail. So does anyone have any questions? Yeah, the second one is Hope for PTSD Vets. What they do is they just started a horse therapy program where they take the veterans with PTSD and you go and you do horse therapy. And this is a great program because horses, in my opinion, they're the most peaceful animals to be around. You're around them and your body just calms. Everything just calms down. And they do a lot with helping. They do a lot of peer mentoring, peer support, and that's exactly what I feel needs to happen. And so, you know, they do a lot of these therapies and they do group things. And so it's hopeforptsdvets.org. And I met the guy. He's a local Austin. He's local here in Austin, and he does great things. And he has PTSD himself. And he's a veteran from, I can't remember which war it was, but he was in the Navy. And, you know, he told me his experience. He's been through some serious stuff too. And so it's just, whenever you have someone like that to talk to and open up to and feel like you're not getting judged. And that's the best part. That's why veterans open up to other veterans, because we all went through this experience. So we went through it together. We might as well go through it at home together too. Anything else? The best way is to get in touch with the best way to find other veterans is to get in touch with the organizations. They're all over the cities, like New Orleans. NOLA Patriots, those guys have been nothing but great help to me. They support my project completely, and they take it very serious about these suicides, and they just set up a crawfish boil. You know, New Orleans, a crawfish boil. But they just set that up to help veterans connect with employers and connect with the other veterans, so you can meet and make friends and all that. So another big thing about when you get out is I went from making $32,000 a year with a house and rent and food. I mean, all that was paid for. All that was good. I get out, now I make $12 an hour. I struggle to pay my bills. And whenever you get out and you go into that, that is overwhelming because you go straight into being broke again. And you felt like for the past few years you've been just completely taken care of, When you don't have rent and you make $32,000 a year, you feel like you're rich. You feel like you don't have to worry about anything. And you get to just spend it on things you enjoy. Go out and explore and do stuff like that. And then you get out and it's just, to find a job is difficult because most people who join the military, for example, I was a truck driver. I joined the military and I went for a truck driver because they said, hey, $25,000 and you can be a truck driver. I was like, all right, I'll take that bonus. And so I spent that $25,000 on pretty much nothing. I have nothing to show for it. But I did it because of the bonus. And then, so I get out and I have no skills. I don't have an education. I don't have a degree. I have a GED, which is not a good enough diploma anymore. So you get out and you can't find a job because, especially infantrymen, what are they going to do? The only option is to get out and be a cop. And a lot of them don't want to do that. They want a professional job. They want to be a professional and get a career. And to this day, it's still hard for veterans to find careers. It doesn't matter if you're in Texas or New York. It's hard to find a place that's a career and not just a job. Like where I work now, I get paid hourly. And I'd love a salary job where I could just get guaranteed paid yearly and not have to worry about any of that. But I won't. And not unless I go to school. I tried school. It didn't work out for me. I'm much more of a harder worker than I am in education. But I do tell veterans this, and they have to at least try it. I mean, it's free. So that's a good thing that the government is doing, is helping with that. And they seem like they're trying to put stuff together, helping the veterans find jobs. But the thing is, it's always